start streaming it up and do it in a minute.
You're free to proceed.
Thank you. This is the call to order the meeting of the election board for the city of Rehoboth Beach at 9 o'clock. If my two compatriots would go ahead and announce that they're present and do it as a roll call.
Ned Kesmodal here.
Steve Curson here.
And Stephen Simmons, chair of the meeting. If I could have a motion, then as everybody, we've had a chance to read the minutes. If I could have a motion from one of you for the minutes and a second.
I move that we accept the minutes.
I'll second.
So the minutes have been motioned to be approved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All three, it's unanimous. We would then move right to the appointment of the judges. Both people that I've spoken to, Bert Dukes and Catherine Hill, have agreed that they're willing and able to serve again this year for us. That's the same two that did last year. So if I could have a motion then to appoint those in a second.
I'll make a motion to appoint the absentee judges.
I'll second it.
And with a motion on the floor to appoint Catherine Hill and Bert Dukes as absentee judges for the 2008-2020 election, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And we'll then have just a very slight discussion. Donna's informed me that we're a little over 200, close to 240 absentee ballots that have been returned. There's over 1,000 that are out. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. We've never had 100% participation, either absentee or in the voting machines of the registered voters. We're pushing 1,700 registered voters. Traditionally, we hit somewhere around 78%, even if this year we talk about moving a little bit higher because of the push for absentee ballots. Maybe we could see that number go up to 80%. My recommendation is to be on the safe side, that we go ahead and schedule the initiation of opening the absentee ballots, schedule it for 1 o'clock. My plan would be to go for a couple hours. We can do over 400 in 2 hours. So we'll go for a couple hours and take a slight break, and the break would determine how many we have left to do, but that would still leave us 3 more hours. Even if we took a half hour, 40-minute, 45-minute break, we would still, I think, have enough time to do it. We obviously will not know how many absentee ballots we have to deal with until the end of business on that day, because they are technically allowed to have absentee ballots delivered to us right up to the close of the polls. We've not had any that have come in that late. Sometimes they come in on Saturday morning, and then we just fit them in. All the absentee ballots will be logged in and they're numbered, so they'll all be numbered and sequential, so we'll know who's in and who, not necessarily the people, but we'll know the numbers that have been returned and who aren't returned when we begin counting. Having that done ahead of time in of itself will probably save us a half hour, because normally we have to take the time to sort them right there that morning. So that'll be done ahead of time. Donna's handling that part. So we'll be able to, at 1 o'clock, begin starting, the absentee count itself. We'll handle it the same way. We do it on sheets of 25. And then that way we can verify as we go along. And those 25, once they're done, will be bundled up just like we do, and basically certified at that point, stuck in a carrier envelope. unless we need them towards the end, which, as Glenn knows, will, at that point, if we have a tie, he'll be registering somehow to do a vote by lot. So
By lot.
by lot. Glenn knows what that is. Otherwise, there is really no change on our agenda. So again, and I know I've made all the talking, but do you guys have any objection to that or any conflict with starting at 1 o'clock?
Sounds
Fine
good
with
to me.
me.
So, okay, well then we officially then are setting the absentee ballot process to begin at 1 o'clock on August 8th. And it will be in that, the little side room that we've done in the past. I'm going to make an assumption that whoever sets the room up will have it set up, with the spectators being, the chairs being 6 feet apart, and we'll just make sure we have enough tables. We certainly can get 6 feet between Donna and Wayne, and then it'll just be a matter of you two, us sitting at a different table, and then we'll make sure Kathy and Bert are 6 feet apart. Really, it'll just be sliding the papers back and forth to each other. So without objection, then, if there's anything else to bring up, now's the time to do it.
Hey, Steve, can I just ask?
Sure.
The 248 ballots that have already come in, absentee ballots, you said there's 1,000 out. Does that include the 248, or is that an additional 1,000 that come back?
My understanding is that's the total right now that are out, to 1,009, but Donna can correct that if I'm wrong. So we still have, my understanding from her email was we still have then approximately 800 that could roll in between now and the 8th.
Okay.
And anybody else that requested, I think they can request them up to 72 hours prior to the election.
3 days, I think, right?
Yeah. So, again, that's going to be kind of one of those arbitrary things. But again, unless something absolutely strange occurs, we don't get very many the last, certainly the last day. I think we've gotten, last year we had 3 that were turned in by mail that came in that morning. So again, I think if we make the leap of faith that we're going to have 800 or so to count, we'll still be in good shape. I'll monitor it with Donna as we go, and if there's any real changes, we'll have to make the adjustment, and the adjustment will be that we'll take a break, but it won't be as long.
Sounds good.
Okay. And Glenn, do you, I know, do you have anything that you'd like to add?
No, I mean, Rehoboth Beach has this down to a science. I'm less concerned about Rehoboth than any other municipality doing this. So,
yeah, and
we're in good hands with Donna.
Large and in all parts, other than us talking, one time a year for a meeting, Donna has 100%. I have all the faith in the world. She does a good job and has for years. And she's even made provisions to train Gene. So we even have now a backup. So we're so far ahead of the game on this compared to some of the other ones. And I've witnessed some of the other towns how they do it, and they would be amazed how smooth our operation is. With nothing else, then,
as well.
Say it one more time, whoever that was.
I just said some props to Jean as well, because she's been really assisting Donna big time lately.
She has. Without anything else, then, if one of you would move for adjourning the meeting and second it.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
At 9:09, the meeting is adjourned unless called upon again. Thanks, everybody, for joining us this morning. Have a good day and stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ned.
See you August 8th.
Max, I called it. Thank you,
That's
Max,
okay.
for everything.
No problem. Have a great